considered that.
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabrizio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is famous for it.
Got Pomino over here. Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
Herveloos. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste.
San Real. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
San Real. Barrels are dated 1268.
Close, but not quite the right.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full. Full.
Full?
Full. This one's full too. Full. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of San Real? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ready. We can start. Ready.
Step aside. I have a feeling we'll find something awry.
So?
Slightly smoky, strongly tannic, definitely San Real. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace,
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Sorial. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything, if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonreal. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name.
He never revealed it.
I've no Cintrin aristocrat at court.
Really thought nobody'd find out.
I was a fool.
Wine itself.
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabricio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait.
We will set out now.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal.
our favorite vintner. It's not him.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight.
Let's ask him a few questions.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Well, had no reason to trust me, and I didn't do much to change that.
True. You are not the most endearing of men. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace.
Wait, she here?
I hope you did not think I would leave this to you alone, especially when every hour could prove essential. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call it...
Wait. He doesn't wish to speak. He needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful. I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
Usually only take measures like that as a last resort, but in this case, think I can make an exception.
Do as you deem fit.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Who hired you?
He'll kill me!
Ought to be worried about me right now.
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Cintrian. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this cape. That's what they said, that we were working for the Cintrian. I don't know anything else.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Cintrian. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Cintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire.
Still don't know this Cintrian's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers.
Need to find the Cintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailers. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long?
This Cintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? The port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight.
Gotta nab the Cintrian.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire.
Audacious rat, the Cintrian. But we'll get him. I should double the patrols, just in case.
It's him! Get him! Look like rush at him!
Mistake.
Look lively! Rush at him, boys!
Didn't look like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunched man. Nice tune.
Here in Beauclair, all's right and fair.
Sacre bleu! It's...
Excuse me?
There is no excuse. There is but the need to outfit you anew.
All jests aside, let me see what you got in your wardrobe.
I'm more than willing.
Thanks.
Ever your servant, sir.
Appearances deceive, Witcher. Beware.
Very
Reginald Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your tickets now.
Late. Now, why is that not surprising?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. My, Geralt. Not bad at all. And you've even a mask. Just not the kind required.
Huh?
They're a little different, the ones Mandragora members wear. I've brought you one. Put it on.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions, especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Ballant.
You are admirers, I surmise.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you. Hate wars, cast them canvas.
Good folk, yet another soul longing to express its creative side.
Well, you are modern art.
That green, lush and verdant as a field of oranges.
To vines and to wine!
I got it. It's the Sorito.
It's not a landscape, you pleb. It's a manifestation of the man's soul.
Blue blood is all ice.
Should you tire of these hues, quite the noble color. Splendid. The sky over Toussaint before the storm.
Or a deeply internalized fear of intimacy.
Composition takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
It's obvious. It represents transgression in its purest form.
Composition takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
Gauze, scarlet, crimson oxblood. Spicy lips, full sensory part of it. Voila! Fine. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil, and defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
And defiance.
This
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
Come scratch my diamonds.
Your thoughts has made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle for power and influence.
Moira swears it. Besides,
Please leave. This is a private alcove.
Need I remind? Cecilia never should have performed tonight. You should have.
it seems someone.
Are you sure?
My deepest regards.
Cecilia, we wish to be alone. Please, leave.
Come, let's look in the alcoves.
As
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
How beautiful. The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but blah, blah, blah. I found pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of...
Do take care. Consider yourself greeted.
Where are you?
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things.
Pretentious. I was prepared...
It must be someone famous.
Do not disturb! Shoo, shoo!
It's the right flower.
Of course it is! A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to...
Need to talk to your model.
To me?
Lie still! You may speak, but for love's sake.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me?
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait one.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but alas, ultimately refused my term.
What was the matter?
When he learned I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with... I've always longed to paint her.
I think you may still get your chance.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Centrian noble you came here with.
Cintrian noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid,
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him.
Like many here. Tall, dark.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift. A heart-shaped box.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this.
It must be someone famous, I tell you. Exception.
Love letter penned on a napkin. Look.
Oh, my amour, my sunbeam flittering across the firmament of my life.
We must throw off the manifest. Venture, color is published relations on a ledge of existence. We must throw off the manifest. Venture beyond the bounds of cognition.
He's a dance.
It Fist tech. Artists' way of numbing their existential pain.
I do not even wish to comment.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beating it once.
Empty, heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
Adventure beyond the bounds of cognition.
Bloody colorful, that's what! Ignoramus.
But what if he doesn't come?
Kill devil.
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come. We must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone. Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course.
Looking for Cecilia Bellan.
She's in her dressing room.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered. A black beard peeping out from under his mask.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs. That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine.
Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Tore down the door. Bloody handprint. Platform. Clever. It's his. Must be pretty strong, too. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it, hard, then sank to the floor. Bloodstains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Sconce is bent. Smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it? Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like. Hunting knife. Richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Locked. No key in sight. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this, must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Jewel's still here, though.
So, this is the tracker.
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything. I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guard?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard.
Fell out of the window.
Just so.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have...
I bought it. Many years ago.
Claim the man was trying to rob you?
Yes. He stood over my dress.
Why?
I bought...
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel, his employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana.
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink.
You were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Son Real and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe.
It could be something else. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dream. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly.
Think your sister might be involved?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive.
Here, that's normal for sisters.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift. Someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Dun Tyne, and if Siana is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form.
I'll find her if she's there.
I hope you do. I very much wish to talk to her.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire. We are lending our combined resources to the Witch's Hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too.
Few I can rely on like I can on Regis. Kinda hoping he thinks the same of me.
Curious. It seems opposites really do attract.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. For what might a monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster.
If possible, yeah.
Enough about the witcher trade for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions.
I believe we're running short on wine.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis?
We shall return forthwith. An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher, and the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. You crazy bringing Detloff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detloff believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore. That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renner.
Guessing it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed.
Oriana.
I met her years ago, before I met you. But I shall tell you all about her.
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there, too.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detloff.
Geralt, you must trust me.
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detloff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Splendidly, Detlaff. I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis. I regret all the more that I shan't finish this second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. You have exceptional friends. This Detlaff, an intriguing man.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I.
Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. It stands along the Saône-Retour River. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight.